Genoa Township is currently in the process of updating our comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan's a central tool for telling others what we envision for our future, but it can also be a township strategic work plan. Projections indicate, based on 100 new homes per year, that we will reach build out in 2025. This will include 1,200 additional homes, 3,500 additional residents for a township population of 28,000. The Genoa Township Zoning Commission is working with staff to update our vision, and we hope that you use this presentation and the community survey as a mechanism for telling us your thoughts. Genoa Township Development and Zoning Office staff began meeting with stakeholders in the fall of 2012. The meetings will continue throughout the winter of 2013, and we publish a synopsis of these meetings in the spring of 2013, along with posting an online community survey. In the summer of 2013, we hope to have a draft comprehensive plan for residents to review and offer comments on, including recommendations, and a series of public hearings will be held with the Zoning Commission. Anticipated adoption and implementation of the plan will be later this fall, in fall of 2013.
Take a moment to envision Genoa Township in 2025. What does it look like? What kind of energy does it have? As a resident, business owner, visitor, or neighbor to Genoa Township, you are a stakeholder. You have a role in ensuring that the plan for the future of the township addresses your vision. To safeguard a bright future for our township, we must keep our plans up to date and as comprehensive as possible. Your participation will ensure that the comprehensive plan continues to represent the voice of Genoa Township. Your feedback will ensure that we retain the character and qualities that make Genoa Township a great place to live.
The comprehensive plan incorporates public input and a critical review of our strengths and weaknesses throughout the community. It conveys recommendations on future land use and policy decisions. By law, the township needs to adopt a comprehensive plan to uphold zoning ordinances. We've approached this comprehensive plan update with 5 critical areas. These were based on extensive stakeholder input and determined to be the areas of focus. First is fiscal sustainability and responsibility. Second, community development. Third, economic development. Fourth, community amenities and infrastructure. And last, environmental preservation and public health.
The comprehensive plan update commenced in the fall of 2012 with the start of what would become over 100 stakeholder meetings with residents, business owners, school district administrators, church leaders, landowners, and public officials. The purpose of these meetings was to begin to understand those opportunities and challenges presently facing Genoa Township and those which we should address in the coming years. A thorough inventory of all stakeholder feedback was merged with a detailed internal review of the strengths and weaknesses of present township conditions. The result was a comprehensive SWOT analysis of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats facing Genoa now into the next decade. The next step in the process is to come back to you, the public, to share what we have learned and to ask you to weigh in on our findings. We have developed this presentation as a way of sharing with you the frequently identified opportunities and threats. Afterwards, we hope you will take the Genoa Township Community Survey to offer your feedback.
We've found when the average resident thinks about government, they identify it with taxes. The Genoa Township Finance Advisory and Audit Board takes upon themselves to look at a 10 to 20 year fiscal outlook for Genoa Township. Through a combination of this group and different levy committees, Genoa Township's had the goal of making an affordable tax base for Genoa Township residents. With only 15% of property tax being directed to Genoa Township, we're very conscious of the fact that user fees, donations, income from other resources should be maximized wherever possible. The fiscal outlook for 2025 should look at key questions, looking at a fiscal impact analysis for Genoa Township. We should look at development impacts, mitigated tax impacts where possible, We should strive to be debt-free when others, such as the federal and state government, struggle with this challenge. Questions like what grants can be used to save tax dollars, are road maintenance standards to be sustained into the future,
We start the planning process with a focus on community development. With the comprehensive plan update, we have an opportunity to talk about community development as being about more than just land use. We need to ask now what we can do in individual neighborhoods to build a stronger community. Today we have the Genoa Township Neighborhood Coalition to engage residents in the process of building community development. As we move into the future, the Neighborhood Coalition will remain a critical component to ensure that Genoa Township, at its heart, retains its sense of community. Today, Genoa bustles with nearly 25,000 residents and is home to 3 highly ranked school districts, a variety of businesses, and several churches. It shouldn't come as a surprise, then, that maintaining quality of life and focusing on issues close to home rather than township-wide dominated the feedback we received in this category. So then, what does quality of life mean to you? Is it our ever-expanding network of bike trails and parks? Is it the open space preserved by our conservation developments and farmland preservation? What does the preservation of rural character mean to you? Is there a desire within the township to see working farms, open fields, wooded areas, or fencing lining our old farm-to-market roadways? Maybe quality of life is about the ease of getting from point A to point B, or perhaps the natural aesthetic of the township is most important to you. How do we balance each individual's definition of quality of life to meet what lies before us?
In 1999, Genoa Township adopted the comprehensive plan as a preferred development style on parcels of over 25 acres in size. To explain conservation subdivisions, let's take a basic parcel of land. This land has many options for different ways to be developed. Our conventional development style has placed homes on large lots with loop and cul-de-sac streets. This development style will yield up to 32 lots on this sample parcel. Through conservation development, that same property can house the same 32 homes on smaller lots with cluster design that helps to preserve 40 to 50% of the property in open space. This design was promoted by Randall Arendt in the book Rural by Design and has been adopted as the centerpiece for development. Think of a vacant property on your street. Which development style would you like to drive by every day? The use of conventional development allows property owners to maximize private property, having larger lots and more area for recreation on their individual property. The use of conservation development takes and shrinks the size of the lot, but it allows for communal areas where you can install trails, park equipment, and also just preserve open space. Preserving fields, pastures, barns, and other structures in other areas has allowed Genoa Township to maintain rural character through both development styles. What would you prefer?
Throughout our stakeholder meetings, we often heard folks cite the concern of communication. When it comes to community development, not every resident is a member of a homeowners association, nor is every association an active one. We don't have a central way to communicate with residents, so where do we focus our attention in order to get out the message? How do we actively engage our stakeholders like churches, schools, libraries, county offices, and others who serve the township? We need to identify the best way to reach every stakeholder. Knowing that not every resident reads the township newsletter or visits the township website, and knowing that not every resident attends community forums or reads our posted legal notices in the Delaware Gazette, how do we ensure that every resident has the ability to participate and has direct access to township communications? What recommendations do you have for improving community engagement? Finally, for the category of community development, when you think of Genoa Township, what comes to mind? Is it your home, your office, your child's favorite park? When a friend or relative visits from out of town, what landmarks do you offer them to guide their travels? How do you describe Genoa Township to others? In other words, what is our township's identity?
In 2009, Genoa Township businesses came together to form the Genoa Township Business Association. The primary purpose was to promote Genoa Township as a great place to do business, with partnerships with the Area Chamber of Commerce, Delaware County, Genoa Township. They work together to grow the economy while also maintaining Genoa Township as a great place to live. Our primary focus within economic development needs to be on retaining our existing businesses. The loss of one business from our community can have a greater economic impact than recruiting 10 new businesses. Retention is primarily achieved through regular visits and meetings with our businesses. We need to keep our ears open and attack key issues. Are you familiar with key issues that are attacking our local businesses? Like the game of Monopoly, value comes from investment. More investment into a property reduces the individual burden of property owners, maximizes our tax base. Our goal within our business community is 100% occupancy. As we strive to accomplish that, we need to facilitate growth within the vision of residents. The majority of our businesses within Genoa Township are housed in our residential neighborhoods. The Secretary of State indicated over 300 registered businesses within our residential homes. The 2010 census indicated 833 residents working from their house. With good access to internet, easy access to Columbus, good public safety, quiet neighborhoods, reliable utilities, and other key assets, Genoa Township is a great place to do business. We need to embrace uses that can help to build our tax base and provide more opportunities for residents, while trying to challenge nuisances that are caused by occupations such as auto repair, where numerous vehicles or numerous clients can be attracted to residential neighborhoods. Our last focused area within economic development is on agribusiness and tourism. Genoa Township's home to many events, businesses that help to attract visitors that are good for our economy. Visitors come here, such as family and friends of our residents. They come to Bird, attend community events, go to Freeman's Farm Market, other farm markets, and also events such as rowing regattas on the Hoover Reservoir. Visitors can be very good for our economy, and we need to promote these type of businesses where it's within the vision of the Genoa Township residents.
With no defined downtown, Genoa Township relies on its adjoining jurisdictions for many community amenities and services. But what are the amenities, services, and resources that Genoa has to offer? What and where are the opportunities to build on our community infrastructure? For example, residents have expressed an interest in a new community center, but opportunities are limited. Many want a new pool, but we must ask if residents are willing to pay to fund the construction and maintenance of such a facility. Would residents like to see more parks? As libraries look to expand their services, what do residents want to see? And finally, what improvements must be a priority to ensure that a safe route to school exists for our students? Genoa Township is served by the school districts of Westerville, Olentangy Local, and Big Walnut. All have been rated excellent with distinction by the Ohio Department of Education. The comprehensive plan presents an opportunity to promote the quality of these districts as a feature of the township and to make land use recommendations in anticipation of these growing districts' needs. What resources or facilities would you recommend to ensure that Genoa Township students continue to attend the state's top schools? Would you like to see outdoor facilities for environmental science and extracurricular applications, for example? With the challenge of having 3 different libraries to serve each of our 3 school districts, how do residents currently use these resources? And how would we like to see them used in the future? So many stakeholders have voiced their appreciation for Genoa's parks and trail system. In addition, Genoa is home to the Hoover Reservoir and borders on Alum Creek State Park. How should the township capitalize on all of its recreational resources and, equally important, how should we care for them? The parks and trails are supported by an active Parks Advisory Board comprised of resident volunteers. A newly formed Community Ambassador program would present an opportunity for even more of our residents to get involved in the care of their parks and trails. Of course, the challenge with so many recreational facilities is providing the labor and funds to maintain them. What recommendations would you suggest to strike the right balance? The township maintains 87 miles of roadway, in part through funds allocated by its roads levy. Maintenance includes improvements to road surfaces and culverts, snow removal and street brining, and roadside mowing and debris removal. Last year, Genoa spent $450,000 on road physical improvements. With most roads being constructed in the past 10 years, the total cost of maintenance at current standards will lead to rising maintenance costs. Are residents willing to pay, or do standards change? Experts suggest that a road should be resurfaced every 10 years in order to be maintained. For the township to adopt this schedule, costs could climb to $1.7 million per year. Clearly, this presents a challenge for the township and its maintenance department. How should the comprehensive plan address this challenge? What recommendations would you suggest to ensure that township roads are safe and navigable?
2 areas of our community's infrastructure that have received a lot of attention are roads and sewer. As Delaware County, Genoa Township work to identify areas for new roads, areas for road improvement, and areas for sewer expansion and addressing current sewer service issues, we ask you to help us in identifying what key challenges and opportunities need to be addressed.
In this post-9/11 world, public safety remains a top priority for our stakeholders. Genoa Township has a proud and long-standing tradition of supporting its police and fire departments. In return, Genoa's finest and bravest work around the clock to serve and protect. In order to ensure that our police and fire departments retain a visible presence in the community, we need to anticipate future needs. Being prepared for natural and man-made disasters alike takes proper planning and the involvement of the community. How can we advance disaster response plans organized by Delaware County with the help of the police and fire departments? As the township continues to grow, it will be imperative for our police and fire departments to keep pace. With existing infrastructure already at capacity, how will we meet the demand for adequate space?
Genoa Township has preserved thousands of acres of green space and has one of the most popular trail networks in the state. These resources were the product of prior plans and did not happen by accident. How do we plan for build-out of the community when challenged with individual property rights in the interests of property owners in relationship to the preservation of natural resources and providing recreational health?
There is a strong connection between the health of the environment and public health. That is especially true here in Genoa, where we host 2 of the region's largest drinking water reservoirs at Hoover and at Westerville Reserve. Today, much of the township is on sewer service, and more residents than ever have the opportunity to tie into the Delaware County system. With an ease of maintenance and better protection for the environment, sewer service is the preferred method of wastewater management. There are challenges, including tap fees and leapfrogging sewer service. How should the comprehensive plan address these challenges? The Delaware General Health District serves as a resource to residents and businesses in Delaware County. The staff regularly provides educational talks at homeowners association meetings and community events about environmental and public health topics ranging from residential services to food safety. This may be an opportunity to promote attendance at homeowners association meetings or at township events. How would you recommend that the comprehensive plan address issues of public and environmental health? We have an opportunity through the comprehensive plan to provide for public health and environmental protection through resident education. How can we utilize the comprehensive plan as an opportunity to promote this type of education rather than impose government policies? What would you like to learn more about, and how would you like that information delivered to you?
The Genoa Township Community Survey will be available online at www.genoatwp.com starting in March 2013. While there will be other opportunities to participate in the comprehensive planning process, this survey will help to engage new ideas and prioritize opportunities and threats facing our community. Print surveys can be requested by calling the administration office at 614-895-1126, extension 0. Otherwise, we hope you fill out the survey, and we thank you for your time.